From the last 3 days, out of the trip to Segovia, the trip to Toledo, or the day that we just stayed in Madrid and did the flamenco lessons and went to the flamenco class or show later, I think I would have to choose the flamenco lessons as my highlight. Not necessarily because it was that the other two were boring, but because it was more interactive and I just had a lot of fun in that 1 hour. It was entertaining to kind of pick up some of the basics of flamenco lessons, but also to uh, interact with the rest of the group in a silly setting that was just fun to watch and enjoy with everybody else. I really enjoyed that. So that's my highlight for the last 3 days. And yeah, hopefully I can learn how to do flamenco better.
My favorite part of the past few days, which would be day 6, 7, and 8, was probably the cathedral in Toledo because it was very detailed. It was really big. It was cool to have the audio guide because you kind of got guided through everything. My favorite part of that cathedral was probably the ceiling that the ceiling in the museum. I feel like it was really detailed and it's hard to imagine that someone could lay there and paint all that. That's crazy. There was a lot of detail. Um, I like the candles that you put the money in and they lit up. It was an awesome alternative to the candles, probably a lot safer. Overall, I had a lot of fun just looking at all the sculptures and the different saints.
The highlight of days 6, 7, and 8 for me was the flamenco show. When we were at the show, I was paying attention to the musicians, and it was really interesting to see how passionate the guys that were singing were. I mean, they were really into it, and the performer, the dancer, well, both the male and the female, um, were really great, and they were really fast. We went to a flamenco class earlier that day, and just after learning some of the dance moves and seeing how fast and well they did it, it was really impressive.
My highlight for the last 3 days would be Toledo's Cathedral because of how elaborate and extravagant it was. From the very detailed sculptures, paintings, and altars that were inside the cathedral, it was just mind blowing. One of my favorites would have to be the courtyard that was outside the cathedral, and there was about 7 to 10 murals that were illustrating a story. My favorite part about the cathedral would be the main altar that was in the center of the cathedral. It was about 50 to 60 feet tall. One side was just the sculptures were made out of gold, and the other side was made out of marble, I would say. And it was mind blowing and beautiful. No pictures or words could describe what I saw yesterday. You really would have to come to Toledo and see it.